This is episode number 5, the Woodstock guitar guy. I don't know, where a friend of mine came up with the name, and it kind of stuck. So here I am, the Woodstock guitar guy. I live in Woodstock, New York, and I've been playing guitar most of my life, and just only since COVID, really, did I actually start to get more involved with working on guitars and modifying and setting them up and all this other stuff, changing pickups and everything. And but that was only because my luthier was in lockdown, just like I was, and so she basically just said, do it yourself. Go on YouTube, and there's lots of videos that'll show you how to do stuff. So that's what I did. And one thing has led to another, and here I am doing my own YouTube show, video, program, channel. So if you like it, hit the subscribe button, then hit the share button, and then hit the like button. Hit all the buttons, and then we'll just keep kind of cruising along with this. I have a lot of guitars to talk about, and I'm going to talk about one today that is in the Eart guitar world. There it is, Eart. And these are sweet. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they're really fun guitars. They're not expensive. And this particular model is the SSS. It comes just exactly like this, with the except I did change the tuners. You'll see I put locking tuners on it, right? Those lockers, these I think are the best feeling and looking locker tuners that I've used so far. I've tried them all. I'll tell you, part of this program is so that you can learn from my mistakes, okay? And hopefully I can save you a little time and trouble. I've tried them all. These I really, really think are good, much better than most. And they're an XGP, extremely good part. And they're distributed by Guitar Fetish, and they are staggered. Can you see how the ones at the top of the neck, the posts are lower than at the bottom of the neck? This is supposedly to allow you to eliminate the string trees, but I've left the trees on. It doesn't. I mean, I can take them off someday, but I just decided not to. They're locking. They're very well built. And they were without the discount, total price was like $35. Totally worth it. And I highly recommend it. And wait for a sale. You get 10 or 15% off. The one thing about Guitar Fetish, I will tell you, they do not pay for shipping. You have to pay for your own shipping. So whenever you're dealing with them, you have to factor in that it's going to cost a little bit extra to get it shipped to you than some places. I mean, some sites are just, free shipping, and they incorporate it into the final price or whatever. But so when Guitar Fetish is having a sale, it's always a good thing, because then you get a discount, and then you can apply that sort of to offset the cost of your shipping. The other thing I put in this guitar are the pickups. I changed the pickups. I put Guitar Fetish overwound vintage single coils, and I swapped out the originals that were ceramic. These are Alnico, and I'll do a little comparison discussion at the moment. I don't like to get into comparing too often, but I will say this. I have a Fender here, brand new. It's a Pro 2, and I've got these GFS overwound single coils in my very, very modestly priced Eart SSS. And I've had expert types do the blindfold test. They can't tell the difference. So there you have it. You know, it's all relative. I mean, there are some pickups, obviously, that are better than others, and but there reaches a point, especially with Stratocasters and the rabbit hole that Stratocasters have become. There reaches a point where the differences between the various single coils is pretty minor. And I have to say, I really like the pickups on the Fender. I really like them. There is a slight bit more going on there than what's going on here. But once you turn that amp up, you know, it doesn't really matter. It all sounds like a Stratocaster. Now this has a mahogany body. It's a beauty too. I think it's only 2-piece. And it's got a roasted maple neck. And it's got a rosewood fretboard, and it's got stainless steel frets, and it's got bone nut, and it's got these really nice bridge pieces. You see them here? Really, really sweet. And it's got the full, it's got a full trem block in there. And it just, you know, I gotta say, I picked it up new, virtually new. I've shopped around on Marketplace, and it was a good bit less than $200. Now the Fender I got, you know, they sell for $1,700. Okay, so what I'm trying to do with this channel is kind of trying to say to folks who are okay with it not saying Fender up here on the headstock. There's the headstock. If they're okay that it doesn't say Fender or Suhr or some other high-end brand, then there are great options out there. And this is one of them. The Eart is just a beautiful guitar. And it's this has got a matte finish. It's done in lacquer. The Eart brand is from China, and according to what I read, they utilize this very old formula for their finishes, the lacquer finishes that go way back, and it just feels a lot better than poly to my hand. You know, both hands. The pots are full pots. Okay, I opened this thing up. I'm gonna try to squeeze a photo in here. We'll try to do it right here. So as you can see, I had the top off the guitar, and it's got cavities in the body that are big enough so that you can actually do 2 humbuckers and then a middle if you want, which is a really nice thing. If you want to go back and redo the whole 9 yards, the pick guard and everything, you know, you can do that without having to really spend a lot of time mucking up the body. Now the other thing about this you should know is it does not have the traditional football that the Strats have that goes here. The football input jack goes here, but it has something down below, which I actually, believe it or not, I kind of prefer it because the guitar cord is now out of the way when you're playing, and you're not hitting it when you're trying to do something with the knobs. You're not bumping into it, you know, which is kind of a good thing. And what else do I want to say? I restrung it with 10s. I like 10s. It really sustains nicely. All by itself, it's got a really nice sustain to it. I'm a real sucker for mahogany in guitars, which is why I went for this. I have a lot of parts casters, and now, of course, I have a Fender. But this is the only one I have that's a Strat that's made out of mahogany, and I just had to see for myself if it made a difference, because there's if you're just getting started, you'll find out very soon that there's a debate that's been going on for decades now over tone wood and what constitutes the best wood for certain guitars and so forth. And we've got some people that they actually they create guitars with no wood to show you that it's all about the strings. It's not, So anyway, I happen to think that wood does make a difference, and part of it is the weight. I mean, this guitar is good weight. It's not heavy. It's not super light. It's just right. I could wear this all day and it wouldn't hurt my back. Now, I've got one back here that's a parts caster that I put together. One of the very first parts casters I ever did. And I ordered a body from Guitar Fetish. And they said, oh, it's a, vintage ash, blah, blah. And it came. And that guitar body is the heaviest guitar body I have of all these instruments. I mean, it's just, and I have a lot of guitars here. We call it the boat anchor guitar body. I mean, that's the jargon, if you want to know. And I've got it here. I've got it. I've tried multiple times to build guitars out of it. I've broken drill bits trying to drill into it. I've broken off the heads of screws trying to screw into it. This thing is a beast, and after a number of years, a number of projects, I finally took it on one more time, and it came out great, and it sounds great. It plays great. It's a really fun guitar. It has the Mary Kay white finish on it, which I like. I really like, and I'll show it to you. One of these days we'll start pulling the parts casters out. But the guitar is so heavy that I cannot wear it. I have to literally sit. So it's kind of a recorder guitar, recording special, and not something I would take on stage. Although it's definitely a wonderful instrument. I'm not going to get rid of it anytime soon. I don't know anyone who would want a guitar as heavy as that one. So the Eart guitars are made in China. They are absolutely wonderful. They're very well built. They're very well put together. This one has the recessed. You can see the recessed screws into the neck, which is a really nice feature, and it just perfectly shaped like a vintage Strat. I like these particular styles. Just one of my first guitars was a Strat, and it's really easy to do this work. It's very easy to put in these tuners. If you run into a snag, like for example, you buy a set of tuners and they don't fit in the hole because the hole is too small, well then you go online and you look for what's called a guitar reamer, okay, and they come two in a set. You get one size that'll do the bridge on an acoustic, and then you get another size that'll do the headstock, and they're two different sizes. And basically you just take this little reamer. You don't use a drill, you don't use power tools or anything, just a little hand reamer, and you just kind of give it a little bit, and then you try it a little bit, and then it goes in and you're all set and you're done. And it doesn't hurt the finish of the guitar. You don't have to worry about it popping out and drilling a hole somewhere or something like that. One trick also you should know when you're doing when you're replacing the tuners, okay, You see the little screw that goes in that stabilizes? You see that? It stabilizes the whole thing. Now it bolts from this side. Okay, there's a bolt that goes in, goes down into the shaft, and you get a little ratchet set. That's what I use, a ratchet. And you don't have to like really over tighten it, but you just give it a good snug fit. It should be fine. And then in the back, there's a little place screw, and that holds the alignment so that they all line up nice. You see how they line up in a nice straight line like that, okay? They're not crooked, all right? But what you got to watch out for, and believe me, I've done this a few times and learned the hard way, is that you got to make sure that the ones that you are buying, like these, okay, if you're buying these to replace the ones that are on the guitar, you want to make sure that that little set screw thing is on the proper side of the tuner. They come in different configurations. Sometimes the thing is, the screw is like straight up. Sometimes it's off to the side. You have to check and make sure. And they give you the diagrams. You can see everything, pretty clearly. And then once you've got that, you don't have to drill any more holes. You just line up with the existing hole. But you're going to take those old tuning pegs out. The Eart comes with some decent tuners. They're not bad. They're just not my style. And I don't particularly... I like something that's more like a 18-to-1 ratio. 21-to-1 is even better. You get really fine tuning. I don't know what the Earts are, but they could be like 14-to-1. They're just a little clunkier. They're fine. They keep the guitar in good tune. You don't have to worry about that. But after you've done a number of these, you just automatically, most of the time, you replace the tuners. And then you just don't have to worry about it anymore. So, and again, this is the Eart neck. We talked about this in a previous episode. The Eart neck is contoured. Starts out at 9.5, right? And then it works its way up to around 12. And then you get up into here and it's 14. And 14 is flatter. And it's a little more fun to kind of play leads up there, And I love these necks. And I've got 3 of these Earts, and they all have the same neck. I really dig it. And they also have a wheel here, you can see. This wheel is the truss rod adjustment. They give you a little tool that goes in there, and you can turn it one way or another. We talked about how to adjust your bridge in the last episode, where these screws are for the intonation, back and forth of this. This is the piece that goes back and forth. Here, let me see if I can get it on. This is the piece that goes back and forth, and these are the screws that adjust it, to get your intonation, so that when you're up here at the 12th fret and you play a harmonic and then you fret the note, they should be exactly the same note, and these are. So, and then there's little tiny slugs, they call them here. And those, you get a little tiny Allen wrench, and those are for raising and lowering the height of the string. And basically what you want to try to achieve is, I don't know if I can get this here so you can see it, but you want to try to achieve like a little bit of a curvature to this, because your neck is curved. Your neck has a little curvature to it. You can see it in this film here. There's a little, I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. There's like a, this is hard to do with a camera, I gotta tell you. There's a bit of a curve, you can see it. And so you want to kind of match that. You don't have to get tools to measure or anything like that. You don't need that. But I have them, but I never use them, to check the radius. You just eyeball it. And then I basically fine-tune the height of the string to what I like when I'm playing. And basically, if I can bend a note without my finger slipping off the string, then it's good to go. If the strings, for me, if the strings are too low, my fingers will slip off of them, and then I miss the note. So too low is not always a good thing. You want to get it, just right. So with that, I'm going to say adios for now. We'll do one more Eart guitar in this series, and it's my favorite. I do love this, though. I do like this guitar a lot. It's an SSS, which stands for 3 single coil pickups, and that's what these are, single coils. It comes with ceramics, and they don't sound bad. I've got the clip up front. The very first thing you heard when we started this filming was those are the ceramic pickups that came with this guitar. It was stock, and then I'm going to go out playing with the new pickups in there, and you can kind of judge for yourself. But it just, the Alnicos are just, they're a little sharper, they're a little cooler, they kind of a little more responsive, a little more fun, and so that's it. All right, and thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And it's Michael Veach, the Woodstock guitar guy. These are pictures of, some of this is Woodstock. That's Woodstock. That's Woodstock. No, that's Woodstock. And this one over, that one, that's Germany. These are some of my paintings. We'll swap them out as we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to play a little guitar.